Emotional day at the Warren County Justice Center for the second day of the Steve Lawson trial. Thank you for joining us, everybody. At 6 o'clock, I'm Gene Burke.
And I'm Casey Freeman. Multiple bombshells in the Crystal Rogers case as more witnesses testify and lawyers call objections left and right.
WBKO's Brennan Crane was at the Justice Center all day as this unfolded. And Brennan, what were you seeing and hearing in the courtroom today?
Yeah, that's right, exactly. There were a lot of things going on in that courtroom today, and I could tell you I could take the entire half hour or probably more to truly explain what I saw and what I heard in there. That bombshell testimony coming from those who knew Steve Lawson the closest, as well as Brooks Houck and Joseph Lawson, the other co-defendants in the case. Now, that testimony today got emotional at times. There were tears shed in there, dabbing of eyes from the gallery as well. And it's been interesting to watch that the defendant, Steve Lawson, has been fairly just watching everything with a calm demeanor. He hasn't gotten worked up about anything. He's seen writing a couple of things down on a notepad from time to time. But other than that, that's pretty much what he's doing in the trial today. His attorneys there for the defense calling objections just about every time that the Commonwealth was introducing new evidence. They called for that to be questioned, and they were questioning those witnesses that the Commonwealth put forward, calling into question their ability to testify 10 years after Crystal Rogers went missing. Of course, they've been testifying about very specific details about exactly what happened leading up to her disappearance, what they knew, and like I said, that the bulk of the testimony this morning, folks that knew all of those details from being on job sites with Brooks Houck, Steve Lawson, the like. Now, after lunch, once we got back about 1:30 today, expert testimony took up most of the afternoon. We heard from a couple of investigators who extracted phone data from Steve Lawson's phone, as well as others in the case. We also heard today that Rosemary Houck and Nick Houck, those are the mother and brother of the gentleman that is charged also in this case, they remain under investigation as well. And that's what I can tell you. I mean, we could go on and on about what that situation looked like in there.
Well, Brennan, we know this is a very high-profile case. So what was the crowd like in the courthouse today?
Yeah, well, yesterday, I will start with this. Once we were coming in, we saw a lot of folks waiting out at the door. They were all eager to get in. Turns out it was mostly family, and likely a lot of those people called for jury duty. Now, today, it was the same story, but except the courtroom was a lot busier today. Bailiffs routinely telling folks they needed to quieten down during those bench conferences. That's when the attorneys go up to talk with the judge privately. The courtroom woke up a little bit from time to time with that. And inside the courtroom, I was sitting directly in front of the family of Crystal Rogers. Sherry Ballard, Crystal Rogers' mother, sitting directly behind me. And there were times when she was, reacting to things going on in the testimony. There were a lot of those type of moments going on. Few seats open in that courtroom, really, as a lot of the public today turned out for the trial.
Thank you, Brennan. And you can keep up with our daily coverage of the Steve Lawson trial.
We'll be updating the biggest developments in the trial through our free WBKO News app, on air and on our website. You can also catch up on the case by clicking the Crystal Rogers case tab